नमस्ते सबैजना टेक्निकल ग्लिच जुन चाहिँ रेगुलरली भइरहन्छ सो त्यस्तै हुन्छ प्रोफेसनल्सहरूको लाइफहरूमा आज फेरि म भुवन शर्मा कोचवीको तर्फबाट अर्को जेनजीको एपिसोड लिएर आएको छु। आज पनि हामीसँग एकदमै इन्ट्रेस्टिङ पर्सनालिटी हुनुहुन्छ सेफालिका ढकाल। हामीले चाहिँ छोटो कन्भर्सेसन ब्याक स्टेज गरिरहेको थियौँ। सो त्यो हुन्छ नि हुने बिरुवाको चिल्लो पात भने जस्तो यो कन्भर्सेसन एकदम इन्ट्रेस्टिङ हुन्छ भने हामीले पहिला नै यसो अनुमान लगाउन सक्ने भइसकेको थियो कि सो वी ह्याड अ लट अफ लाफ्स बिहाइन्ड द सिन अनि हामी चाहिँ एकदम राम्रो मुडमा छौँ। सो धेरै डिटेलमा इन्ट्रोडक्सन दिनुभन्दा बरु सेफालिकाजीलाई नै स्क्रिनमा बोलाएर अनि वी क्यान कन्टिन्यू है। लेट्स जस्ट इन्भाइट सेफालिकाजी on the screen. म जी भन्नु पर्ला। How are you, Sephalika?
I'm great. Okay. Lovely to be here.
Nice. Okay, nice. मैले चाहिँ जीलाई कम्प्लिटली हटाइदिएँ। अझ म ट्राई गर्छु हेरौँ। अलिअलि नर्भस एनर्जी, अलिअलि एक्साइटेड. Do you feel that?
Yes, I feel nervous and excited. Yes, so a balance.
Okay. Nice. Last time तपाईलाई चाहिँ यस्तो किसिमको फिलिङ आएको when was it?
It was when I performed on stage for a freshers program in my college.
And how did it go?
It went surprisingly well. I wasn't really prepared, Tivila, but you know, I just went there and started singing and it went well.
Okay.
Thankfully.
अनि आज कतिको प्रिपेयर्ड हुनुहुन्छ?
I don't really have anything to prepare, Aja, so not much. So, I have prepared a song and a poem, that's it.
So the last time you were nervous and you're a little excited, it went really well because you were not prepared. And आज पनि it's the same, I know. So
yes,
we can expect the same results, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
So who are you? तपाईको?
I am a student right now. I'm studying bachelor's in business and information systems. I do a lot of things, so I don't really know what to say when people ask who I am. I sing, I write poems, I write other things, I paint. I don't know, I just like trying new things and anything that's creative, I guess.
Okay. अब यसलाई चाहिँ सबैलाई साइडमा लगाएर भनौँ न तपाईको स्किल्सहरु तपाईको लेभल्सहरु सबैलाई चाहिँ साइडमा लगाउनु भयो भने so who are you as a person के what kind of a person are you?
I'm a person who strives to be as kind as possible and just trying to learn how the world works, how everyone feels, and trying to empathize with everyone. Basically, that's what I mostly focus on. Yeah, so just being kind, a kind person. Yeah.
Okay, a kind person. Nice. Yeah. हामीले चाहिँ फर्स्ट कन्भर्सेसनमा चाहिँ so we asked you कि भनौँ न यो लाइभ हुनुभन्दा अगाडि कि tell us a little bit about yourself भनेर अनि तपाईले चाहिँ के भन्नुभएको थियो नि I'm not very good at talking, right? So I found coping mechanisms in other forms of expression. And just to say, तपाईले एउटा poems and songwriting पनि one of them भनेर भनिरहनु भएको छ. Coping from what? What are you coping with when you're writing songs and poems?
Okay, yeah. So, it's like I don't really understand what it is, but I'm not very good at one-to-one conversation with people, basically. And it's not like I cannot talk to people or I get nervous or because I go to stage, I say anything I want. When I have a mic, it's my own stage. But when I have to talk about my feelings, when I have to, express myself, I can't really find the words and I struggle to make people understand, basically. So that is kind of a struggle. I mean, um, because, that's how you grow your relationships with people. And not being good at expressing yourself is kind of hard. But yeah, so I just need an outlet because if I have to express myself one way or the other. So that's how I found it.
ओके सो तपाईँले चाहिँ कोहीसँग कुरा गर्दाखेरि सो पिपल टेल यु you're not expressing yourself properly or who's making that judgment?
I myself, I guess.
Okay.
Like अब बच्चा बेलामा चाहिँ it was very very prominent in me. I didn't have many friends, and you know and it was hard to open up to people, still is, I guess. But and I was always told that you have to talk to people, you have to make friends, like so I wasn't really able to do that. So maybe that's why I felt a little something lack in me, I guess.
Okay. सो तपाईँले आफूले आफूलाई जज गरिरहनु भएको छ नि त, राइट? सो तपाईँ लाइफमा पहिला कहिले गलत हुनुभएको छ? यो हेज यु जजमेन्ट बिन रङ बिफोर
About myself,
अबाउट एनिथिङ?
of course, त्यो त अब a lot
ओके
of things.
सो हाउ डु यु नो यो जजमेन्ट चाहिँ तपाईँको राइट हो भनेर, यु नट गुड एट टकिङ भनेर?
Well, it's not really right as of now because I know I've come a long way. But that initial thing that's engraved in your head, it's always there, right? So two
True.
way my Monaco, but yeah, I have come a long way, and it's not really black and white.
ओके
So yeah.
राइट. सो तपाईँले चाहिँ आफूले आफूलाई यु थिङ्क अफ यर सेल्फ एज एन इन्ट्रोभर्ट त्यसै?
Ambivert, I guess.
ओके. मलाई पनि आई थिङ्क अ लट अफ पिपल हेभ द्याट प्रब्लम, स्पेसली इन्ट्रोभर्ट्स होइन. सो वेन आई वाज ग्रोइङ अप मेरो प्यारेन्ट्सहरूले अथवा मेरो रिलेटिभ्सहरूले पनि कुरा गर वाइ एन्ट यु टकिङ टु पिपल होइन, अलि बढी कुरा गर, अलि धेरै साथी बनाऊ, अलि यो गर ऊ गर, मान्छे नबोल्यो भने चाहिँ लाइफमा केही पनि गर्न सक्दैन भन्ने किसिमको असम्पसन कि. सो आई काइन्ड अफ गट ओभर इट. अहिले चाहिँ आई नो कि इट डजन्ट रियली म्याटर, तपाईँलाई धेरै साथी होइन कि, जस्ट निड रियली गुड फ्रेन्ड्स, सम फ्रेन्ड्स. अनि जति त्यो कुरा गर भनेर बाहिरबाट प्रेसर आउँछ, इट्स हार्डर टु टक के. झन् यु
Yes.
जस्ट गो ब्याक इन टु यर सेल्फ. सो आई क्यान स्लाइटली रिलेट टु द्याट. सो तपाईँले चाहिँ लेट्स मुभ अन यो टपिकबाट अलिकति अगाडि. यु सेड द्याट okay, there are other forms of coping mechanisms that you use, music or poem bahek. So what are the other ones?
Um, it's like I don't really have like these fixed things that I do. I paint sometimes. Like these three are basically my most constant among everything else, I guess. Sometimes I don't know. I make dresses. I knit. Anything. It's just like I see something and I feel like I want to do it, and I do it. So, and it makes me feel good about myself. So,
Nice. पेन्ट भन्नुभयो. पेन्टिङ चाहिँ हाम्रो अस्ति लास्ट टाइम पनि हाम्रो स्टाफहरूसँग कुरा गर्दाखेरि वान अफ आवर स्टाफ सेड आम लुकिङ फर अ पेन्टर. मैले चाहिँ वाल पेन्टर भन्नु थालिरहेको छु कि. अनि सो वेन यु मिन पेन्ट युआर टकिङ अबाउट आर्टिस्टिक पेन्टिङ होइन?
yeah.
ओके. सो what do these things do for you? तपाईँले यो गरेर चाहिँ what do you get out of it?
I get a peace of mind, basically. Like, just play some music, grab some colors, and just do what you feel like. Sometimes it's really important to like just take a step back because there's so much going on. Obviously because of the pandemic too, but even otherwise, there's a lot of pressure nowadays because you see everyone around and they're always doing something or the other, and it feels like you're the only one who's you know behind in life basically. So it's important to remind yourself that it's okay and you're doing good, and that's what it does for me.
Okay. पेन्डेमिकको नि कुरा गर्दै हुनुहुन्थ्यो सो इट्स बिन हार्ड कि हाउ यु डिलिङ विथ इट
um Well, it depends. I mean, it's been like 7 months, so like there have been a lot of phases, of course. But as a person who is in her head the most of the times, it's like it is important to have your time with your thoughts, but um, when there's nothing else that's there around you, it's like that's the only thing that's there, and overthinking can, I mean, mess you up sometimes. So yes, I think it has been hard for everyone.
ओके ओके overthinking can mess you up sometimes definitely अनि so when you just said कि you're in your head most of the time, right? So what's the good side of it? What do you get out of it, positive thing?
The good side is, of course, understanding yourself a little more every time you go through that, because you yourself are evolving so much. I don't think you can. That's the reason I struggle at introducing myself, because when people say who are you, I'm like, I don't know. Because there's just so much going on with you, and it's important. It's really important to keep track of your thoughts and your inner processes. So yeah.
Okay. um, फेरि पनि म यो क्वेसनलाई फेरि दोहोऱ्याउँछु है, सरी. So what do you actually get out of the inner dialogue तपाईँले when you're living in your own head? होइन, you say there's a part of it that is stressful sometimes because it can become overthinking. तर positive side चाहिँ के हो?
Well, if you're talking about things that are tangible, I guess I get my artworks, my songs, my poems, my paintings. They're all a result of my thoughts, of course. So it is important to. It is really, really. I cannot stress this enough. It's so important to like spend time with your thoughts, and nowadays it's that's really hard because you have distractions all around. Everything is a distraction right now, and just to be able to sit back and listen to your thoughts is hard and is important. So
Okay,
yeah.
important how? के गर्छ त्यसले त्यो अनि what does that spending time with yourself mean? Like, are you locking yourself up in a room or कुनै पहाडमा जाने अथवा पार्कमा जाने? So what does that mean?
Well, no, I'm terrified of this pandemic, so I haven't stepped out that much. But going to the terrace and just looking at the sunset, or just turning off the light and like I find light very distracting sometimes because it just like shows you everything around, and when you turn off the light, it's like you're the only one who's there, and you can just feel
Nice.
everything.
Okay, so
Yeah.
visuals can be distracting. Yeah,
Hmm.
very nicely said. अलिकति लाइटर टपिकतिर जाउँ है त. So what's the
Okay.
difference between songs and poems? के फरक छ? You say you write both, होइन, poems and songs. So what's the difference?
Well, for me, poems don't really have to be at a particular rhythm. Of course, there are types of poems that people choose, but like the way I write poems is like I just let it flow, and there's nothing I have to change or correct or anything. But while writing songs, first of all, it most of the time it just comes with the melody. Um, and also you have to keep track of that rhythm that you choose. So I guess that's the difference.
Okay. So do you need भनौँ न different type of mental state चाहिन्छ यो दुईटा कुरा लेख्नलाई? Do you need to be in a different mood when you're writing a poem? Do you need to be a different mood when you're writing songs?
Yes, I personally, I'm a very, very moody person. So I need a mood for everything. But even when, like, differentiating between a song and a poem, it's like, again, poem is like when it just like comes out in a raw form and just becomes a good piece, you know. But for a song, it's like it goes on in your head and then you have to work on it. For me, at least, I can't speak for everyone, but that's what I have experienced.
Okay. अनि यो चाहिँ तपाईँको भनौँ न when you say songs, what kind of songs? Any kind of songs or कि are you into raps or I don't know, what kind of songs do you write?
Well, I don't know. I just I write mostly English songs, but not raps. Definitely not raps. Um, but just soft songs, I guess.
Okay. Um, मैले एकदमै तपाईँलाई स्पटमा पारेँ तर you going to sing something, share a poem with us or any of those things?
Well, yeah. I guess. I was actually, well, I have seen the rest of the interviews, so I was prepared for a song, okay. But again, I just wrote one, I just finished a song as a piano today morning, so I just thought, why not just share it today with you?
Nice. Perfect.
um, okay.
अब तपाईँ रेडी हुन्जेलसम्म म एउटा मेसेज दिइहाल्छु है ब्याक स्टेज चाहिँ हाम्रो
Us.
यहाँ थुप्रै कमेन्ट्सहरू आइरहेछ सो इफ यु गाइज थिङ्क कुनै सेयर गर्नुपर्छ भने चाहिँ प्लिज सेयर गरिदिनु होला मैले भ्याइरहेको छैन यो कमेन्ट्सहरू पढ्नलाई चाहिँ राइट सेफालिकाजी अप टु यु
Okay. So it's a working title. The name of the song is Don't Go, but that's obviously off the top of my head. So here it goes. I can see it in your eyes. Something you can say to me. I can see it on your face. All the plans you've made to go away. And I try to ignore it, 'cause darling, I can't let you go. I'll fight for you, that's what I need to do. But darling, please don't go. Oh, oh, oh. I know it's been hard. This whole thing is just falling apart. I can see why you wanna give up, but I'm trying to make it work. And I try to ignore it, 'cause darling, I can't let you go. I'll fight for you, that's what I need to do. But darling, please don't go.
नाइस तपाईँको साथीहरूको नि कमेन्ट्सहरू चाहिँ बबाल आइरहेछ तर रियली नाइस वर्ड्स पनि भेरी भेरी टचिङ यसो तपाईँहरूको घरको माहौल कस्तो हुन्छ त इफ एभ्री वान इज भेरी आर्टिस्टिक अनि हुन्छ नि सो डु यु एन्ड योर ब्रदर टक इन लाइक म्युजिक or सङ राइटिङ दोही सोरी त्यस्तो टाइपको इङ्ग्लिसमा
No. But घरको माहौलको कुरामा चाहिँ it's really fun, when I think about it. Like we just all of us, we just some random day, it's not planned, it's not anything. We just sit down and everybody just starts singing, and it's really fun, and it's great to be in a house like this, because to be surrounded by your family that actually shares this interest with you is, I think, is very, very it's a blessing, basically.
नाइस म इमेजिन गर्न सक्छु इट मस्ट बी रियली फन मैले तपाईँलाई भनौँ न ल इफ यु लुक एट युर सेल्फ वाट आर थ्री थिङ्स द्याट यु लभ अबाउट युर सेल्फ हुन्छ नि यो
um
यो तिनवटा कुरा चाहिँ विदाउट द्याट आई वोन्ट बी मी अनि आई रियली रियली लाइक दिस अबाउट माइ सेल्फ भन्ने खालको
yeah. So the first thing that comes to my mind is how much work I've put on myself, because, like, I can see how I've changed as a person so drastically. Okay, like school ma I was like so insecure about myself, and always thinking about what other people think of me. Every step I take was like very, very cautious, to the point that it completely killed my confidence. But I still stuck it out, and I used to participate in competitions so often. I just knew that I had to get over this. So school basi, I went to Hyderabad for my high school. And when I went there, it was a completely different world, of course. And maybe that's one of the reasons that I gained so much of confidence, but it just gave me a fresh start. And I'm glad that I realized how much work I have to put on myself. That is, I think, the most important one. Um, the second one, of course, working on my skills. And it's different from the previous one, because that I was talking about as a person, and this one is like about how much I think about my future, and how much I just try to make work on what I'm good at. And the last one, I don't know, just, I mean, I'm a happy person, and I like that. I like making people happy, and that's what I like about myself.
ओके नाइस जस्तो तपाईँको फर्स्ट एन्सरमा चाहिँ यु लुक एट यर सेल्फ एन्ड यु रियलाइज हाउ फार युभ कम भन्नुभएको छ नि त सो हाउ मच युभ चेन्ज अनि कति यङ पिपुलहरू भनौँ न जो चाहिँ भन्छ नि अब आफूलाई एउटा बक्समा राखेर हुन्छ म चाहिँ यस्तो खालको मान्छे उस्तो खालको मान्छे भनेर भनिरहेको हुन्छ नि त आई क्यानट चेन्ज भनेर सो इफ यु लुक एट युर सेल्फ अनि यति चेन्ज भइसक्नु भएको छ तपाईँ भने what would you advise or what would your suggestions be to those people who think I'm like this kind of a person I can never change म चाहिँ यस्तै हो म हुन्छ नि एउटा नयाँ गीत पनि छ क्या एउटा ऱ्याप गीत हामी यस्तै त हो नि भन्ने तर what would your suggestions be to those people who are stuck in one box and say this is why म चेन्ज हुन सक्दिनँ भन्ने खालको
Yeah. I would just say it doesn't matter, what you think right now, what is limiting you, your thoughts, how much you care about how people might think about you, or it just doesn't matter, and you just have to stick it out. I know it's not easy. It's easier said than done, but um, it's like you just have. I was in that phase a lot, like even like about my appearance. I was so conscious, you know like that was very, very confining. Okay, and I'm so glad I got out of it. And I just, because I have these conversations with a lot of young people, and I've had these with a few of them recently. And they've shared how they're very conscious about stuff, how they don't want to share what they wrote. They don't want to wear a certain type of clothing because it doesn't look good, because their body isn't good, or you know I just want to say, do what you feel like. It really doesn't matter. Nobody cares. In a good
okay
way, of course.
okay. Nice advice. Do you want to share any of your poems? Ki, that's too personal.
No, I would like to share when, I guess. Um, so I don't even remember when I wrote this exactly, but I just came across it the other day, and I'm like, I just like, when did I write this? That was the first thought in my head. But yeah, the title is A Prize to Humanity. Okay. He looked calm, his palm on the table. There's nothing that lures me more than wanting to grab it. But he looked so calm. As always, his face radiant and his smile, well, not everyone saw it in him, but I know he's a star. I also know, though, that he's fallen to the ground, the sky is far, and he's lost his light. And the others probably see him as a rock, but I still see the luminous heart within. I see it in his eyes, the tiniest bit of hope that could light up everything around him. He was probably sent here as some sort of a prize to humanity. A humanity that's so lost in greed and insanity, a humanity that probably doesn't deserve something like him. He's something out of a romantic poem, something out of a beautiful novel that describes a soul lost in Rome, something that feels like home and yet something out of this world. He's always so happy and yet bleeding in a way, so close and yet miles and miles away. Every time I try to reach him, there's this huge gap in between, but I see him, and he's so restless and yet so serene. I could keep him safe with me in my coat pocket or wear him as a pendant to my locket, close to my heart, give him the warmth and love or whatever it is that he needs. I could just sit him in front of me and write pages of praises about every single part of him. If he could just trust me and share every hurt, I would give everything just to set him free. But of course, I can't let him know. I don't want him to run away, so I just stare at him as he stares at her. I sit there and I wonder what he compares her to. Maybe an angel with snatched wings, a peacock with hidden feathers, or probably a fallen star. But right now, all I want to do is look at him and feel the warmth radiating from him. I look at him and I feel calm.
Oh, nice. Nice. ब्याकस्टेजबाट पनि धेरै क्लाप्सहरू आइरहेछ अलिकति लामो सास लियो है really nice. So, what's your strategy for writing? So, how do you prepare yourself? What do you do?
I don't. Because, like, when I sit to write, it doesn't come to me. It just has to, I have to be in a mood. I have to, like, I don't know, it differs again. Sometimes I just go to the terrace and it just comes to me like a random thought. I see a person walking on the street and it just, like, yeah. So the thing that mostly inspires me is how every person you see has their own story. And it's just really fascinating, and I just look at people and I have these imaginations about what they might be going through, and just different aspects of their lives, and that's how I come up with these stuffs mostly.
Nice. योगेश पन्छीले चाहिँ he's awestruck भन्नुभएको छ तर मैले स्पेलिङ चाहिँ खासै चेक गरिनँ. I think it doesn't matter. All right. What um, what roles does writing play for you? I mean, I've kind of asked that question to you before. I know. Um, I don't know how to ask this. Okay, जुन तपाईँले लेख्नुहुन्छ नि, राइट, तपाईँले जुन पोम्स अथवा सङ्ग्सहरू लेख्नुहुन्छ, इट गिभ्स यु पिस अफ माइन्ड भन्नुभएको छ नि त अघि, होइन? एनिथिङ एल्स?
I think I've already covered everything about that. One is peace of mind, another one is making me feel good about myself. Like, especially like how I said, I stumbled across this poem just 2 days before. Like, I write something and I forget about it, right? And then I forget how good it was. And that is really important when you are low and you just go back to what you've done. And you know, in times when you don't realize your worth, it just, I think it makes me realize it again.
ओके नाइस तपाईँको साथी योगेशजीले चाहिँ मलाई ही थिङ्क्स आम स्पिचलेस भनेर कमेन्ट पठाइरहनु भएको थियो अनि आई वुडन्ट से इज इन्टायरली रङ होइन सो आम काइन्ड अफ लस्ट माई क्वेसन मैले सोचिरहेको थिएँ अनि सोच्दा सोच्दै आई लस्ट इट अनि फेरि रिकभर गर्न खोज्या योगेशजीले पक्रिहाल्नुभयो
Maybe writing could be helpful.
true that. Any stress? Do you have stress? I think you've said there's so much happening. Do you have stress in life? How do you deal with them?
Yeah. So, when I look at my own life, it's like everything's almost perfect. Like, I wouldn't change a thing. But of course, that doesn't mean that you don't have stress, and that doesn't mean that you're not sad at times. And it's just, and that's harder for me because, like, I can't really pinpoint a reason why I'm sad most of the times, and I'm just sad, and I just wish I could, know why I'm sad so that I could work on it. But it's like everything's fine. I don't know why I feel that way, and that's very, very hard. But again, I don't stress myself to make it okay. Okay, like I just let it be. I like it's okay to be sad, and I just embrace it. And uh, sometimes I even like it. I don't know. That's probably messed up, but it's like it's important for me to be sad at times so that I can appreciate the times that I'm not sad, I guess.
Okay. What's beautiful about sadness?
Just the feeling and what it gets out of you, I guess. Because when you're sad, when I told about the importance of spending time with your thoughts, you don't really tend to do that when you're happy. uh, because when you're happy, you're just with people, or you're doing something, or you're in your own world. But when you're sad, it just gives you the time to uh, feel feel, I guess, just feel, and realize things in your head.
Okay. So you think sadness is one of the necessary emotions we have, and it has a purpose?
Yes, yes, it definitely is. And it's so wrong to make it sound wrong or feel wrong for a person to be sad.
Okay. Honey, about sadness, any anxieties, depression, your labels are फरक छ? You think there's a big difference between anxiety and sadness and
Well, there is a difference, of course. That's why there are different terms, I guess. But again, the thing that I don't like that people do is, like, say that, like, when a person is sad and they share it, they just say, like, they just don't validate that. Okay, most of the times it's like, you're just sad, don't act like you're depressed, don't act like it's such a big deal. You're making the people who are actually depressed feel, I don't know, bad. Or that's so wrong. Because when you cannot understand what that person is going through, how can you say that they're not supposed to be sad, or they are not sad? Some people even, like, just declare it. So I think that's very wrong. And of course it has different levels, and like, there might be different types of sadness, different, like, anxiety and everything. It is, of course, different. But again, that doesn't mean that we don't validate people's sadness. It's very important.
okay, nicely said. Nicely said. What do you think about travel? Do you think young people should travel and explore? Key, it doesn't make that much of a difference.
No, it obviously does. Traveling is so important. Some people who know me might be laughing right now because I'm not very good at road travels. But just going to new places, meeting new people, just even seeing a new place and observing on your own, even if you don't really interact with the people there, it makes such a huge difference. Because just okay, so traveling is basically, it's just normally just for the sake of travel. But when I look at my life in Hyderabad and how much it has changed me as a person, it's so important to get out of your space and see other people and how they are experiencing everything. And it just, I think it humbles you when you see other people and their struggles or even their way of life. And when you see the differences, it just makes you a better person.
नाइस नाइस मलाई सबैजनाले तपाईँको साथीहरूले चाहिँ क्वेसनहरूमा हेल्प गरिरहनु भएको छ सो वाइ म्युजिक वाट एट्र्याक्ट्स यु टु म्युजिक सायद मैले चाहिँ यो सोधिसके जस्तो लाग्छ है तर आई डोन्ट नो एउटा क्वेसन चाहिँ के थियो भन्दाखेरि समथिङ अबाउट म्युजिक है मैले भर्खर पढाएको थिएँ मलाई हाउ डिड यु गेट इन्टु म्युजिक ओके एकदम स्पेसिफिक
So, like, Vatsudiki, I had a very husky voice. Uh, and people didn't really consider me to sing well. I don't know. I like unsani botsa mein I mean, I'm not blaming anyone for this. I don't know. I guess it's just unconscious. But botsa belama pani I was in a dance class and not a music class because I don't know. Well, one, because I was very bad at dancing and my parents thought it's important to actually be at least moderate. But I was never really into music. I mean, in that way, like totally into music when I was a kid. My brother, he took classes at times and he was inclined towards it, Potsebiki. And I guess just singing with him and watching him play. I mean, he must be very flattered right now, but it is true. And I just started singing, and then I actually hadn't performed until when I was in grade 11. That was my first performance on stage. And I got a lot of good feedbacks from there. And well, yeah, I can see why Shobha is so excited, because she was one of my biggest fans of that performance. And all of that just made me feel good about. I'm saying this a lot, but I think it's really important in whatever you do. It's all about how it makes you feel, right? So it made me feel good. And yeah, that's how I got into music. And writing songs, well, I don't think I'd even written a song before your lockdown. So it's very, very recent.
नाइस ओके सो लकडाउनबाट धेरै कुरा राम्रो पनि निक्लेको छ तपाईँको कपाल बाहेक नाइस ओके तपाईँले चाहिँ जस्तो भनौँ डु यु रिमेम्बर अ टाइम वेन यु फेल्ट रियली स्ट्रेस्ड or confused like 5 years ago, 6 years ago? Do you have any specific time where you felt that way?
um, One would be definitely leaving Hyderabad. That's one of the major ones, because I had so many, like, such good friends there. I just didn't I just couldn't accept that it was over. And, it's just so unfair that I had to completely leave that place and never go back again. I mean, until now at least. But, it's just like so sudden. And like, even like I knew I had to go back after 2 years, but it doesn't hit you until you are very close to it, right? So that was one of the biggest things I had to get over. And I don't think I've still gotten over it, but well, it is what it is. And the other one would definitely be choosing my bachelor's degree, like what to study after 12. So first I was thinking of BBA, then I changed to CA. I studied CA. I even went to Delhi for the second level. And then I came back because I realized, because like mostly I was just, when I went to study CA, it was all about money for me. well, I was a kid, and uh, then like the lifestyle there, I just wasn't happy with it. I wasn't happy with like the amount of work that I had to put in just for the the subjects. And I need to be free, basically. I need time to do my own stuff, and I didn't have that. So I was miserable, basically. So I came back. I took, like, I had 1 year of gap. And then I joined BBIS in Dulikil, and that has been one of the best decisions, because it's just so it feels good, and I feel like I belong there and I'm performing well, and that's obviously one of the factors that makes me feel good. So yeah, those are the
Okay,
stressful times. Yeah.
नाइस नाइस हामीले अघि अलिकति कुरा पनि गरेका थियौँ होइन लिमिटिङ बिलिफ्सको बारेमा एन्ड हाउ यु यु आर अ स्टेज पर्फर्मर अनि तपाईँले एक दुईचोटि पर्फर्म गर्दाखेरि यु अल्सो भेरी प्राउड अफ वाट यु अचिभ अनि यु हेभ अ फ्यु फ्यान्स अमङ्स युर फ्रेन्ड्स अनि यो इभन तपाईँले त्यो डाइरेक्टली नभने पनि आई क्यान सेन्स द्याट युर प्राउड अफ यु होइन वाट युभ अचिभड
Yes.
what would you tell भनौँ न अब यङ गर्ल्स एन्ड बोइज होइन जो चाहिँ दे हेजिटेटिङ स्टेज फ्राइटको होस् अथवा पर्फर्मेन्स एङ्जाइटी होस् म गर्न सक्दिनँ होला म फ्रिज हुन्छु होला मैले भनौँ न मैले पर्फर्म गरेँ भने पनि कसैले मन पराउँदैन होला भन्ने किसिमको हेजिटेसनले देयर होल्डिङ देम सेल्स ब्याक होइन अनि देयर नट ट्राइङ उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ what would your advice be?
um just, I don't know, put yourself out there. It's like, I know it's hard. I know very well, because more I used to participate a lot, bahut se dikhi, like in speech competitions, debates, poetry, everything. But the first time I ever won a position was when I reached grade 9. So, uh, like, for 8 years, I just participated for nothing. And, well, not for nothing, but, I didn't win. But, you will get better with time, and you will be comfortable with it. So you just have to reach there, and you have to put the work in. There's no way out.
Okay, तर मैले चाहिँ पर्फर्म गर्न गएँ एन्ड आई गेट स्टक मान्छेहरू ममा हाँस्यो भने के गर्ने भन्ने खालको सो इफ आम अफ्रेड अफ समथिङ लाइक द्याट what would you suggest?
Well, it's like, it doesn't matter really, because, well, you will obviously remember it. It'll probably be one of the traumas in your head. But when other people see it, they might even laugh for a while. And if you can, just laugh with them, because it happens in life. It happens to everyone, and you don't have to feel like you embarrassed yourself or anything, because they might be laughing right now, but they know that it will happen to them too. It happens to literally everyone, and it's just not worth it to put yourself through so much. So if you can, just try to get some perspective on that.
Okay, so what would you do? भनौँ न तपाईँले चाहिँ पर्फर्म गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ and you get stuck and you really mess up the whole performance and people are laughing and what do you see yourself doing? How would you cope with that?
Yeah. So one of the experiences that I can recall, something like that, is like very recent. Bachelor's co, like Mero Freshers program, when I was a fresher and I was participating. I was singing and I forgot the lyrics, and I was just like standing there for a while. And then I didn't know what to do, but then the crowd was really supportive. That's one of the major things that helped me. But they just started cheering, and then I just continued from the middle of the song. I didn't really give much thought to that, and of course I was embarrassed a little, but I just realized that it was cool, like cool that I accepted that, and I went on with it. And the other one is. I don't even know if this is a real memory. Sometimes it happens that, like, you kind of associate different memories and make it up, but I don't know. I just feel like class 5 there was this solo dance competition in the school, and I messed up my outfit somehow on stage. I don't remember exactly, but that I felt really bad at the time. Well, I was a kid, of course, I felt bad, and I understand how people might feel because I've gone through it. But you know, um, but it, like, it's just like, when I now look back at it, it's just one of the times I had fun and I participated and I put myself out there. So that is what is more important than all of those little things that happen. Like,
Okay,
so yeah.
nice. So how old did you say you were तपाईँको त्यो हुँदाखेरि
Outfit wala, I was in
represent
grade
हजुर
5.
grade 5
Yeah.
भने how old is that
Um
10 10 11 12 होइन
yeah,
yeah
11,
around
12. Yeah.
11 or 12 right 11 12
Yes.
so if you could like होइन अब go back in time अनि meet your 11-year 12-year old self होइन and she just had a outfit issue and she's concerned, she's stressed. What would you advise her? What would your suggestion to be, to your younger self?
I would give her a good hug because I know she needed that.
Mm.
And just, I would tell her that it doesn't matter, and you'll just look back at it as something that happened to you. One of the stories that you can tell in an interview in the future. So it's all gonna work out. Calm down.
Nice, nice. है हामी धेरै कुरा एकदम टु सिरियसली लिएर हुन्छौँ एक्ज्याक्टली
Mm.
अनि तपाईँले अघि त्यो गीत बिर्सेको कुरा भन्दा भन्दै आई जस्ट रियलाइज समथिङ कि जुन हाम्रो डर हुन्छ मान्छेहरू हामीमा हाँस्लान् ओर्लान् भनेर सो आई थिङ्क इट्स अल्सो एक्जाजरेटेड है मान्छेहरू त्यति क्रुल पनि हुँदैन जेनरली दे आर
Yes.
सपोर्टिभ दे आर सिम्पेथेटिक त्यति त्यो हामीले भनौँ न फिल्महरूमा हेरे जस्तो अरूलाई गिजाउने ओर्ने कमै हुन्छ है
Yeah.
सो इट्स भेरी नाइस तपाईँले त्यो भन्दा भन्दै आई जस्ट रियलाइज द्याट हाम्रो एकदम कतिपय फियर्सहरू चाहिँ एभिडेन्स बेस्ड हुँदैन कि इट्स इट्स जस्ट अर्को चाहिँ मैले तपाईँलाई रिक्वेस्ट गर्नै पर्ने नत्र योगेशजी पनि रिसाउनुहुन्छ होला सो डु हेभ अनदर सङ मलाई योगेशजीले पक्कै पनि अर्को गीत भनिहाल्नुहुन्छ उहाँले होइन
Yeah, okay, so I think I should go for a Nepali song. In fact, the only Nepali song that I've written
नाइस
that's good enough to share. Um, so, okay, so the name of the song is Kehi Jainna. Okay.
ओके नाइस
तिमी आउँदा मेरो सामु बहकिन्छ यो मुटु तिमी हिँड्दा मसँग बादलहरू बदलिन्छन् तिम्रो आँखामा बस्न पाए अरू केही किन चाहियो र तिम्रो हात समाउन पाए अरू केही चाहिन्न तिमी हाँस्दा मेरा आँखा किन रसाउँछन् अनि गाउँछन् तिम्रै लागि खुसीका यी भाका तर तिमी नहुँदा मसँग तिमीसँग गाउन पाए अरू केही किन चाहियो र तिमीलाई खुसी देख्न पाए अरू केही him now. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Ah, एकदम रमाइलो. त्यसै त अब यो नेपाली गीतहरूमा लिरिक्सहरू त्यति मजाको हुँदैन नि त, धेरै कममा हुन्छ भनौँ न. अनि आई रियली लाइक यो लिरिक्स एज वेल. ओके, मैले यो चाहिँ आज कम्प्लिटली तपाईँसँग कुरा गर्दा गर्दै बिर्सेँ. कोही पनि हेरिरहनु भएको छ भने प्लिज सब्सक्राइब गरिदिनु होला, ताकि भनौँ न यस्तो प्रोग्राम्सहरू हामी अझ अझ धेरै लिएर आइराख्न सकौँ. तपाईँलाई क्वेसन चाहिँ भनौँ न, तपाईँले अहिलेको जुन संसार देखिरहनु भएको छ नि, जुन जुन तपाईँभन्दा अगाडिको जेनेरेसन्सहरूले बनायो होइन, अहिलेसम्म तपाईँको कन्ट्रिब्युसन यो संसार बनाउनमा अलिकति कम छ भनौँ होइन. अभियसली देयर इज अ लट अफ कन्ट्रिब्युसन, तर अलि अरूभन्दा कम छ. अब यो संसारमा चाहिँ तपाईँलाई इफ युआर गड होइन, युआर गिभन अथवा गडली पावर्स, अनि यु कुड गेट रिड अफ 3 or 4 ट्रेडिसन्स के द्याट यु हेट, what would those 3 or 4 ट्रेडिसन्स बी? अब यस्तो किसिमले यु गेट रिड अफ इट कि मान्छेहरूको मेमोरीबाट पनि वाइप आउट हुने किसिमले कि. सो what would you do?
Well, one thing is gender bias. That is so messed up, and I just wish I could just snap it out. um, and I guess, like, just, people having this bias over, like, groups of people, basically, including gender, caste, color, anything, like, that's just, like, there are such beautiful people in this world, and we just let that bias keep us from knowing them and knowing that part of them, just because we don't consider them good enough, or we just generalize things that their kind have done, or whatever that is. So yeah, that would be something I would get rid of. And another thing is, I don't know, this will probably be a little too dark, but, like, I just, like, once I just came across this video of a guy getting murdered, and it's just like, how do people even think of doing that to people? That's the most cruel thing I've ever seen, ever. Like, it was just a video, but still, like, I can never get rid of that memory ever, because it's so disturbing. And, when you see it in movies, it's so normalized, but it was a CCTV footage, and I would erase the concept of people thinking of killing someone else.
Okay, yes. Nice. Bias. तपाईँले यो कुरा गर्नुभयो. Do you think bias comes from strength कि weaknessबाट भनौँ, अथवा मैले अझै यसलाई क्ल्यारिफाई गर्ने नि, do you think it comes from arrogance कि insecurity?
A mix of both, because
Okay.
arrogance is obviously there, because you wouldn't really look down on someone else if you weren't arrogant about yourself. And that's, like,
Okay.
the thing that you're arrogant about is really so insignificant, but people don't realize that. But yes, arrogance a lot, and insecurity, of course, because there was this research that I read. I can't really cite it, so I don't think I should say it like this, but I read it somewhere that people who are oppressed actually tend to do better in everything. I don't know how true that is, but I have seen people, who are not, who haven't received as much opportunity, do so much with their lives, because they just have that drive. And I think the people who consider themselves superior know that on some level, and they just want to keep their space. So that's where bias comes from.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. किनभने if you're oppressed, तपाईँलाई आफ्नो सर्भाइभलको लागि पनि you have to be very alert, very productive, very effective, and you have to work a lot harder. And then that makes you better at things. That makes a lot of sense. Generally, होइन म यो फेरि जेनरली भनेको मतलब चाहिँ इट्स अ वार्निङ कि म जेनरलाइज गर्दैछु भनेर होइन अनि सो जेनरली लड अफ यङ पिपुल नाउ डेज होइन अब ब्याचलर्स गर्ने अनि त्यसपछि म अमेरिका अथवा अस्ट्रेलिया जान्छु भन्ने किसिमको प्लान्स हुन्छ नि त सो वाट डु यु थिङ्क अबाउट यङ पिपुल माइग्रेटिङ अब्रड अनि त्यसपछि दे अल्सो कम्प्लेनिङ द्याट दिस कन्ट्री डजन्ट गो एनिवेयर यहाँ यस्तो छ उस्तो छ अथवा यहाँ यस्तो छैन उस्तो छैन जे भने पनि देयर इज नो सिस्टम अनि do you see any hope for Nepal? Nepal, do you think it will get better? अथवा
Okay. So starting from the beginning of your question, there's two sides to look at it, because obviously everyone will be worried about their own future and their own lifestyle, like what kind of lifestyle they want, and is it even possible staying back. And I don't think going abroad is wrong, but I think an intention to return is important. I think that's what is really required, because you can't really tell people like don't go abroad. You have to serve your country. It's obviously an individual choice. People can live wherever they want as long as it's legal. But yeah, and I think it's important to make them realize the potential, instead of just complaining that people are just migrating outside, because obviously people will think about their lives first, right? I mean, there's that, I forgot the name, but there's that hierarchy table. People will first consider their own needs before moving on to the society and other higher levels of needs. So that's completely normal, and I think it's more of a responsibility of older people, or people who care about the country, people who've reached that level to care about the country, and tell people not to go abroad, to make them realize that it is possible. I think hope is what is very, very required right now.
okay, very nicely put. I agree with you. अनि तपाईँको चाहिँ तपाईँको विचार पैसाको बारेमा what do you think about money?
Yes, so that is one of the things that I've grown in and I'm proud of. I used to think that money is the most important. And like every decision I made was always centered around, paisa kamaunchu. And now it's just like, I just realized how naive I was, and I'm thankful I had that phase, because you don't really listen to people about these things, right? Like, when people say, when older people say, especially because they've seen life and they say that money is not that important, it's just like, like, what, it's my life, I know I need money. You don't listen to people when they say you don't need money, right? But I think it's very important to realize it on your own, and that takes gaining experiences, again spending time with yourself and really understanding what your needs are. So I
Okay.
don't think money is supreme. I know we need money, like to have a certain level of lifestyle. It depends, how people want to live. And for me personally, money is not really that big of a deal as long as I have my basic needs fulfilled, I guess.
What if I may ask होइन म चाहिँ अलिकति क्युरियस पनि भयो कि बेसिक निड्समा के पर्छ
Yeah,
कसैको बेसिक
exactly.
निड्समा
So
फरारी पनि राखिरह होला होइन सो जस्ट वान्ट
yeah,
चेक
that's what I mean by, where it depends, because like for me, it's just like a decent shelter, and well, good food. I would obviously spend more in food, but yeah, the lifestyle, as in, being able to live in a healthy way and not worry about financial problems. I think that's the point that I want to reach.
ओके द्याट क्ल्यारिफाइज एभ्रिथिङ ओके नाइस नाइस तपाईँ चाहिँ अघि भगवान् हुनुहुन्थ्यो होइन अब भगवान्बाट कम्प्लिटली डिमोसन भएर चाहिँ तपाईँ शिक्षा मन्त्री हुनुभयो अरे एजुकेसन मिनिस्टर अनि
Okay.
तपाईँलाई चाहिँ यु हेभ अल द पावर एन्ड अथोरिटी टु कम्प्लिटली चेन्ज दि एजुकेसन सिस्टम कि अनि अल द टाइम अल द मनी अल द रिसोर्सेस अल द पावर अल द अथोरिटी होइन so what would you do with this education system? What you don't like अनि के change गर्नुहुन्थ्यो होला?
Yeah. Okay. So I watched this video on YouTube about the education system in Finland, and there it's like the students have so much freedom to think, to create their own concepts, and to understand in their own pace. And I think that is so important. And here it's like, I mean, of course, there will be a syllabus for you to follow, but the way students are treated, the way they're told that exams are important, you have to secure marks, that's like your sole priority as a student. You know, I just think I would do things to change the definition of being a student. Um, like how students are. Okay, for example, I wouldn't. I mean, is it possible for me to like change the way of like uh, handling like students in schools and stuff?
सबै चेन्ज गर्नु पाउनु तपाईँलाई अघि भने नि
Okay.
अनलिमिटेड पावर तपाईँलाई भगवान्‌भन्दा खासै पोजिसन मात्रै डिमोट भएको हो तर शिक्षा भनौँ न यस
Okay.
क्षेत्रमा चाहिँ यो अलमोस्ट गयो।
Yeah. So I would make a system where, like, students are valued, their opinions are valued, and they're not just asked to follow the teachers, where they're, because you don't, like, people don't realize it, but little kids can be so wise if you just sit down and listen to them, you know and all the creativity, all the knowledge that they bring with them. There was this essay that I read where the author was basically bashing school and saying why schools should not exist. But the thing that I liked most is that how he explained how kids learn to speak from nothing. They literally learn in like 2 years how to form sentences, how to tell stories, and how to explain things that are happening. And that's so magical. And you just have to give kids the space to grow. And I don't think that's really the case right now. And that's the thing that I would work on the most.
Okay. Okay, if I said one more thing, what would that be? अलिकति I'm pushing you to think outside of what you just thought. Okay. अलिकति
One more
एक्स्ट्रा
thing
केही
about
निक्लिन्छ कि
the
भनेर।
education thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, yeah. So one more thing would definitely be how much importance they give on your hairstyles and your dresses and stuff, and how much they focus on it, because when you think about it, it's like, how can you send students home because their skirt length is not as much as you want it to be? Like, how is that your top priority? You are literally sending girls home because boys might be distracted because of their skirt length. And that is like, what is that teaching to those young boys? you know so, like, it's really important to focus on the important things rather than all of that.
Okay. So जस्तो स्टुडेन्टहरूले अथवा केटा स्टुडेन्टहरूले कपाल पाल्ने केटीहरूको स्कर्टको लेन्थ सुडन्ट मेक अ डिफरेन्स। आई कम्प्लिटली एग्री।
Yeah.
पढाइसँग त्यसको कुनै ऊ नै छैन। इट मेक्स नो सेन्स। तपाईँको भनौँ न इफ इफ आई वर टु लाइक मिट यु आफ्टर 6 years होइन कहीँ कहाँ भन्ने हैदराबादमा भेट पऱ्यो तपाईँको स्कुल रियुनियनलाई तपाईँ हैदराबाद जानुभएको थियो एन्ड आई वाज देयर। आई डोन्ट नो हैदराबाद म किन गएको थिएँ तर आई जस्ट मेट यु अन द स्ट्रिट होइन। अनि आफ्टर 5 or 6 years एन्ड आम टेलिङ यु होइन हाउ मच कोच मी हेज ग्रोन एन्ड आम टेलिङ यु अल द थिङ्स द्याट वेभ अचिभड एज कोच मी टिम। अनि मेरो सक्यो कि मैले जति धाक लगाउनु पर्ने त्यो सक्यो। सो इट्स योर टर्न। तपाईँले 6 वर्षमा चाहिँ के गरेँ भनेर इफ यु ह्याड टु बोस्ट के अचिभ गर्नुभएको हुन्थ्यो होला 6 वर्षमा?
Achieve. Wow, that's a big word. Well, I don't really know what point of achievement is really an achievement for me. But as of now, I think I would, um, well, to be very specific, I would like to like have a fashion brand. and something that reaches to people, not just the extravagant thing, just something simple, something that I have this vision of promoting Nepali culture through fashion. And I just think that that needs more attention right now. And just me being able to say that I have the store that is doing well, and yeah, I guess that would be it. That would be my achievement.
Nice. नाइस हामी झन् झन्डै एन्डमा आइपुग्यौँ मसँग दुईवटा क्वेसन छ होइन म सकेसम्म बिर्सिन्न होला त्यो क्वेसन सो द फर्स्ट क्वेसन इज तपाईँको जेनेरेसनले चाहिँ तपाईँको विचारमा हाउ प्रिपेयर डु यु थिङ्क कम्पनीज इन नेपाल आर होइन टु के भन्ने टु डिल विथ जेनजी एज इम्प्लोइज
Yeah, that's a good question. Because right now, this generation is basically learning so much more about themselves, about how free everything should be, and how, less judgmental things should be. And just dealing with, I think companies should be prepared. They don't really have a choice. And well, hiring new people, I think, would help them, because just gaining that perspective is really important. To understand Gen Z, you have to have a Gen Z within you. So that's very, very important, because, well, otherwise you will not be able to manage it at all, because I can see how it can be very, very difficult if you're not able to handle it properly.
Okay, what does that mean? Ki tapeko you need to have a Gen Z within you. So what does that actually mean?
Just the like relating, being able to relate to the thought processes, I think, because I see there's like so much new stuff that's coming up right now. People there's so much you have to educate yourself about the LGBTQ things, and about just a general freedom of a person being a person. And I think that is very important to the young generation right now. And I think that, like, you have to have that in your mind, to manage that group of employees well.
अनि तपाईँको विचारमा चाहिँ most of the companies in Nepal doesn't actually they don't have that kind of freedom in their workplace.
But I haven't really been to a workplace. I haven't had a first-hand experience, but just looking at the people in general, the generation that's above us, I know, like, some people have done a very good job educating themselves about all of these things. But I think, it's very, very crucial at this point, and everybody has to understand all of these things. So that's what I mean.
Okay. All right. Ani so at the end, I would just like to ask तपाईँले अघि कल्चरको पनि कुरा गर्नुभयो. You have a fashion line and that kind of focuses on our culture. What is important about our culture? Why should we care about our culture?
Because it's beautiful, and there's so much work, so much history that has gone into it. And there's so much value in all of those things, about every article of textile, or an ornament, or anything that you see, the cultural stuff that has gone through so many generations and has reached to that refined state. And I think it's really, really beautiful, and it's very, very important to preserve it.
त्यो पुरानै भएको कारणले त we should get rid of it, होइन? Why you
I know. Like, it's not really necessary that you have to get rid of old stuff, because, it's not like Purano Bandale. I'm not saying bring a gold ornament from 100 years ago and sell it. It's just the art, the adaptation that is valuable, okay? Because it has gone through a lot of generations, a lot of creative minds, and it's just a real treasure, is what I think.
Okay, so it went through a lot of years, through lots of generations and it's valuable. So my question again is why? Why is it valuable? What's the value?
Because of all the work that has been put into it, and because
Hmm.
how it represents way of life of people in the area, and it holds a lot of significance. I don't know if it's just me, but I just find it so beautiful that all the like the time, basically the time is what adds value to it, and everything that has gotten into it.
Okay, nice, nicely said. Um, okay, we're at the end of the program. अनि मैले कुनै क्वेसन सोध्दा भए हुन्थ्यो जस्तो लाग्छ तपाईँलाई अथवा यु वर थिङ्किङ मेबी यु लास्ट मी दिस क्वेसन भनेर आउनु भएको थियो मैले सोधिनँ भने वुड यु माइन्ड एन्सरिङ द्याट
Well, I wasn't really prepared for the interview, for the questions or anything. So I had a really good time talking to you, and it was fun. So thank you for having me, is all I would want to say.
यो मोस्ट वेलकम तर तपाईँको त यहाँ पुरा रिक्वेस्ट आइरहेछ नि त अब कभर सङ लास्ट जानुभन्दा अगाडि एउटा गीत भनेर सो वाट डु यु थिङ्क
Okay, I guess.
ओके मलाई त्यति कन्भिन्स गर्न गाह्रो भएन either I'm getting better at this or you're happy to sing one of the
No, I'm just open to it, I guess.
okay nice okay one
So
song
I don't know
please
what should I sing. Any requests, or like, do you have any song in
request
mind?
चाहिँ um I don't know यहाँ त कसैले रिक्वेस्ट त स्पेसिफिक सङ त रिक्वेस्ट गरेको छैन तर आई डोन्ट नो वाट डु यु लिसन टु तपाईँले खास गाउनु चाहिँ के हुन्छ अनि
I listen to a lot of songs, but I guess for now
is that
I'll
an
just sing. Sorry?
you suggestion I don't know
Ah.
or सुन रहा है ना के हो यो
Okay, I'll sing Samjava because that was the first song that I performed on stage, I guess.
ओके तपाईँले यहाँ रिक्वेस्ट आयो नि त राकेश केसीजीको फास्ट कार तपाईँ ट्रेसी च्यापलिन पनि गाउनुहुन्छ
Actually, मैले त्यो passenger को cover सुनेको हो, but yeah.
Okay, I would love to hear Fast Car.
Okay.
This is something I've heard before.
Okay. Okay, let me sing a few verses. I'm not sure I really remember the song because it's been a long time, but yeah. I'm really sorry for the mess. You've got a fast car. I want a ticket for anywhere. Maybe we can make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from nothing, we got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. You've got a fast car. I got a plan to get us out of here. Working at a convenience store. Managed to save just a little bit of money. We don't have to drive too far. Cross the border and into the city. You and I can both get jobs. Finally see what it means to be living. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't want to go further because I'm not really confident that I remember the song. So, yeah.
गिटार राख्नु पर्दैन जस्तो छ तपाईको यहाँ त पुरा लिस्ट आइरहेको छ त के गर्ने तपाईको 2-4 घण्टा छ नि फ्री
म त फ्री नै हो, केही
ओके
छैन।
ओके यहाँ प्यासेन्जर अनि यो मैले खास यो गीत चाहिँ मैले बुझिनँ है यो के हो यो पक्कै चाहिँ एकदम थुप्रो रिक्वेस्ट आएको चाहिँ वाट इज दिस सम्स अफ
सम्झावा, द्याट्स सम्झावा।
ओके यो दुईवटा चाहिँ प्यासेन्जर र यसको चाहिँ रिक्वेस्ट आएको छ अनि अभियसली द पिपल हु आर आस्किङ टु लुक एट युर पेन्टिङ्स
ओके, आई गेस। um,
मजाले गाउने 5-6वटा ओके दीक्षा प्रसाई नाइस तै कसैले तपाईँलाई डान्स गर्न रिक्वेस्ट गरिरहेको छ नि देख्नुभयो भनिरहेको थिएँ
yeah, they know I don't dance. They know it very well. मैं तेनू समझावा कि ना तेरे बाजू लगदा जी, मैं तेनू समझावा कि ना तेरे बाजू लगदा जी, तू की जाने प्यार मेरा, मैं करा इंतजार तेरा, तू दिल तू यो जान मेरी, जान मेरी, जान मेरी। मेरे दिल विच रह के मेरे दिल दा हाल न जाने, तेरे बाजो कलियां मैं के रो दे नैन नु माने, जीना मेरा है मरना मेरा, नाल तेरे तू कर एतबार मेरा, मैं करा इंतजार तेरा, तू दिल तू यो जान मेरी, जान मेरी, जान मेरी। Thank you.
नाइस ओके अब के त अब गाइराखौँ मलाई त आइम इन्जोइङ दिस
Okay, so passenger भनिहाल्नु भयो होइन, प्यासेन्जरको एउटा।
मैले भने होइन है प्यासेन्जर चाहिँ
Okay.
तपाईँको साथीहरूले मलाई त तपाईँको कतिजना साथीहरूको त अब नाम फर्स्ट नेमले बोलाउनु पर्ने भइसक्यो
You remember when we were two beautiful birds? We would light up the sky when we fly. You were orange and red like the sun when it sets. I was green as an apple inside. You say you loved all the songs that I sing, like nothing that you'd ever heard. And I said I loved you with all of my heart when we were two beautiful birds. Remember when we were two beautiful birds? We would sing when the morning would come. You were silver and blue like the moon when it snows. I was cold as the summer sun. One day you asked for a different song. One that I just couldn't sing. I got the melody sharp and the words so wrong. Those were the last days of spring. To build a nest, we pecked feathers from our chest, like a book tearing out every page. We weren't to know that these feathers would grow into a beautiful cage.
Nice. Sorry, म म्युटमा थिएँ. Um, nice. Awesome. बाबाको रिक्वेस्ट कि रिक्वेस्ट त नरोकेला जस्तो छ त मलाई. ओके, अब अलिकति चेन्जको लागि भए पनि तपाईँको आर्ट चाहिँ हेरौँ न त, एकदम रिक्वेस्टहरू आइरहेछ. एन्ड देन यु क्यान डिसाइड वेदर यु वान्ट टु सिङ मोर अथवा.
Okay, but well, I think I left it upstairs. I can't really see my sketchbook. Ita. I'm really sorry, but I'm sorry. But you guys can go to my Instagram and check it out. I have it uploaded there, most of it. So
ओके, राइट. त्यसो भए इन्स्टाग्राममै चेक गर्नुला कि नो प्रब्लम. फ्रेन्डसिप, सो वाट डज फ्रेन्डसिप मिन टु यु? अनि सोधिहालौँ न एउटा क्वेसन. तपाईँको यत्रो साथीहरूको कमेन्ट्सहरू आइरहेछ होइन. अनि हाउ इम्पोर्टेन्ट इज इट टु ह्याभ गुड फ्रेन्ड्स कि अथवा सेलेक्टिभ? हाउ इम्पोर्टेन्ट इज इट फर यु टु बी सेलेक्टिभ अबाउट फ्रेन्ड्स?
I am very, very selective about friends, and sometimes I think it's not a good thing for me personally, because um, well, it's like, well, it is important in the sense that you surround yourself with the people and it influences you. So it's very important to surround yourself with good people. But also, being selective might sometimes make you feel lonely, and, not have company when you need it. Because, like, not all of your friends will be around all the time. And, it's but then again, when I think about it, I'm so grateful for the friends that I do have. And it's just great that I selected them out of the selectiveness that I have within me. But yeah, I think it's important to be open about friends, about having friends, or whom to have friends. But well, it's really a balance. Again, everything is a balance. I don't know.
True, true.
Yeah.
Nicely said. अब के गर्ने त तपाईँ? देयर स्टिल अ लट मोर रिक्वेस्ट. अब तपाईँको भाइलाई पनि गएर लिएर आइदिनु भन्ने रिक्वेस्ट छ, तर आई थिङ्क द्याट्स गोइङ टु फार. लेट इट बी. तपाईँको इन्स्टाग्राममा छ भने तपाईँको मार्केटिङ डिपार्टमेन्टले मजाले तपाईँको इन्स्टाग्रामको ह्यान्डल राखिसक्नु भएको छ. सो इफ एनी वान इज इन्ट्रेस्टेड. अनि सो डु यु वान सिङ? एउटा लास्ट रिक्वेस्ट चाहिँ सिने गुरुङको भन्ने रिक्वेस्ट आएको छ. इफ यु वान डु द्याट, फाइन. अदरवाइज
Well, I'm fine with it. I mean, if there's a request, of course, I'll sing it. Unless, like, we're running out of time.
There's something very funny about time. It doesn't run out.
Okay, great. Then I'll sing it. Um, okay. Okay. मन किन रुन्छ यो मन एक्लो हुँदा त झन् रोइदिन्छ यो मन यो रहर उडी जाने रहर आकाश छुने रहर त्यो बादलमा तर डर किन लाग्छ मलाई डर हर्दैन हर पल किन लाग्छ यो डर यो मन भुइँमा कुल्चिदिन्छ सबै टेकिदिन्छ सम्हालिन खोज्दा यो मन एक्लै रोइदिन्छ अनि हाँसिदिन्छ आफैलाई हेर्दै मन तर किन मलाई मात्र यस्तो भएको जस्तो लाग्छ हर पाइला सानो खोज्दा बाटो बिराएको जस्तो लाग्छ अब के गरौँ म अब के गरौँ म
थ्याङ्क यू के अरे मलाई पनि गाउनु भनेर रिक्वेस्ट आइरहेको थियो तर हुन्छ नि त्यो एउटा कुनै मुखमा नमिठो कुरा मुखमा राख्नु मजा आउँदैन नि फेरि होइन फेरि बेलुकाको समयमा कसैलाई पनि नराम्रो सपना आओस् पनि कसरी होइन त्यो त्यो चिताउनु पनि पर्यो मेरो भोइस सुनेर तर एकताल उहाँको एकताल हेरिहालौँ नि त आर्ट श्रीनाजी एकताल इफ यु क्यान सेयर ओके नाइस इट्स क्वाइट नाइस है त्यही त
Thank you.
भेरी इम्प्रेसिभ यो अलिकति त्यो यस्तो यस्तो हेरेपछि चाहिँ लाइफ अलिकति अनफेयर लाग्ने कि सबै ट्यालेन्ट एउटै परिवारमा राखिदिएर यो नेचर फेयर चाहिँ छैन यस्तो कहाँ हुन्छ भने मिल्दैन ओके भयो अब चाहिँ उहाँकै ह्यान्डलमा गएर हेर्नु अब यो भएन धेरै ट्यालेन्ट भयो ओके नाइस ह्याड अ नाइस इभिनिङ थ्याङ्क यू जुनुजी अब यो इन्ट्रोडक्सन भने त अभियसली सेफालिकाजीको पनि देयर इज अ बिग कन्ट्रिब्युसन एन्ड आइ एम सो ह्याप्पी द्याट यु हियर अनि मजाको कन्भर्सेसन भयो आई रियली इन्जोय टकिङ टु यु किनभने एभ्रिथिङ कम्स फ्रम यर हार्ट होइन त्यस्तो द्याट्स अभियसली यो स्टाइल अनि तपाईँलाई चाहिँ त्यो हुँदैन रहेछ एभ्रिथिङ इज भेरी इमोसनल भेरी फ्रम यर हार्ट सो इट वाज रियली रियली नाइस सो थ्याङ्क यू फर एक्सेप्टिङ आवर इन्भिटेसन अनि गिभिङ अस दिस अपर्च्युनिटी आई लर्न क्वाइट अ फ्यु थिङ्स तपाईँको स्ट्राटेजिजहरू योर हाउ यु डिल विथ स्टफ when you explained about sadness about it's also part of our lives and it's also good to have a little bit of sadness in your life it plays a role self talk को कुरा गर्ने भयो हैन अनि हाउ इम्पोर्टेन्ट इट इज अनि तपाईँको सेल्फ टाइमको पनि कुरा गर्दै हुनुहुन्थ्यो अब अलिकति आफ्नो लागि पनि टाइम छुट्याएर राख्नु भनेर सो आई लर्न क्वाइट अ बिट अनि थ्याङ्क यू सो मच अनि इफ यु हेभ एनिथिङ टु से टु योर फ्रेन्ड्स अथवा भ्युवर्स अनि तपाईँको इन्स्टाग्रामको ह्यान्डलको बारेमा अझ अलिकति भन्न सक्नुहुन्छ all yours
Yeah. So first of all, it was so great to be here. And like मैले भाइको interview हेर्दाखेरि I was like so I was very happy about it, and I just I was like I want to go there too because you seem like a really really interesting person to talk to, and I'm glad I had the opportunity. And well, my friends, thank you for being there and supporting me. You all are great. I love you so much. And well, about my Instagram, I basically just post covers there too, and also YouTube account. I will maybe add the link later. But yeah, I post covers. I haven't really posted much, any original yet, but well, I'm still working on it. But yeah, if you guys want to follow me, you like feel free to, and I will definitely try to come up with better stuff in the future too. So I'll make it worth it.
नाइस तपाईँले के गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ नि यदि यु हेभ लिङ्क्स त्यो चाहिँ हाम्रो श्रीनाजीलाई दिइदिनु भयो नि उहाँले युट्युबको हाम्रो त्यो डिस्क्रिप्सनमै राखिदिनुहुन्छ सो इट्स इजियर फर पिपल टु फलो यु राइट
Okay.
सो थ्याङ्क यू सो मच अब म चाहिँ यता बाई भनेर तपाईँलाई ब्याक स्टेजमा आएर भेट्छु अनि छोडेर गइ नहाल्नुहोस् अनि इट विल बी गुड टु जस्ट ऱ्याप अप है त ब्याक स्टेजमा
Yeah,
थ्याङ्क यू सो
sure.
मच
Thank you.
ओके द्याट्स इट पिपल हाम्रो सोको पनि एन्ड भयो तपाईँहरू जस्तो भ्युवर्स र कमेन्टर्स भन्छ कि कमेन्टर्स राइट भयो भने हामी रातभरि गाएरै बस्थ्यौँ होला अथवा गाएको सुनेर बस्थ्यौँ होला तर थ्याङ्क यू सो मच तपाईँहरूले गर्दाखेरि पनि एकदमै रमाइलो भयो हामी नेक्स्ट विक फेरि पनि यत्तिकै रमाइलो अथवा यही किसिमको पर्सनालिटी लिएर आउने ट्राई गर्छौँ होइन अब कोही अरू हुनुहुन्छ भने इफ यु वान्ट टु जोइन दिस सो एज अ गेस्ट होस्टको रूपमा चाहिँ होइन अब कता कता ओभरटेकै गर्नु लागेको जस्तो पनि फिल हुन्छ तपाईँहरूको कमेन्ट्सहरू हेर्दाखेरि तर एज अ गेस्ट इफ यु वान कम coachmenepal@gmail.com अथवा हामीलाई उसमा फेसबुकमा मेसेज पनि पठाउन सक्नुहुन्छ सो या द्याट्स इट अनि धेरै लामो नगरिकन गुड नाइट बाई सी यु अनदर टाइम थ्याङ्क यू सो मच एभ्री वान